morning. Welcome to the Sports Break here on RVNTV.tv. I'm your host, Renee Washington, and joining me, even though it's Friday, it's not a guest, it's Jonathan Stroud. He's back again.
I'm back, just like I never left.
So we're going to talk about Southwest, and I'm not talking about the airline. I mean the Southwest Division in the NBA. Yesterday we talked about the Southeast, which was painful.
Yeah,
I won't
very
say
painful.
it as painful as it was, but it was tough. So we're going to get into a little more exciting divisions. Breaking down the team in the Southwest, the team. So up first we have, let's go with the Grizzlies. We won't get into the big teams just yet.
Alright.
The Memphis Grizzlies. So they lost Tony Allen, Wade Baldwin, Vince Carter, Zach Randolph. They still have Mike Conley, Marc Gasol, Chandler Parsons, and they brought in Mario Chalmers and Tyreek Evans. Thoughts?
Well, I mean, this team here is always under the radar, but I guess, Mike Conley, the highest paid point guard out there who, I don't know if that's warranted or not, but hey, Memphis Grizzlies, you're going to get a tough team every year. Just one of those middle of the pack teams, but I don't expect, the West is just too stacked for them to cut through. If they were in the East, I'd probably say they could probably be an 8th seed out there, but
Yeah.
in the West, tough sledding for you, Memphis, out there. I don't think it's going to happen. You lose Zebo. You still have Marc Gasol. You still have, like I said, you mentioned Conley, Tyreek Evans. He's one of those players that's always confusing me. He has so much talent, but just never really puts it all together. Injuries, but and then Mario Chalmers, another cast off on that team from the old Heat days. So I saw him in the preseason. I didn't see too much coming from him. So, like I said, I don't really know what to expect from Minnesota. Well, not Minnesota, sorry, Memphis, but. Yeah, I don't see him probably getting more than 38 wins for them.
Yeah. Yeah, again, you mentioned the West in itself, and if anyone has been paying attention, you know just how stacked the West is.
Oh, man.
So to be a top team in the West, you have to have everyone on for every game. They have to be healthy. And you have to have some talent. And the Grizzlies are that middle of the pack team that normally gets into the playoffs as like an 8th seed, but now, I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Nah. It's not looking good for them. They should have brought Vince Carter back. That was the key to everything.
That's true. So we have the Dallas Mavericks. They lost DeAndre Liggins, but they still have J.J. Barea, Harrison Barnes, Seth Curry, Nerlens Noel, and Dirk. And they brought in Dennis Smith Jr.
Now, he looks exciting. If you're a Dallas Mavericks fan, he looks like he's ready for prime time. Dennis Smith Jr.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be exciting. Dirk Nowitzki, real good guy. He's, still... he's giving out the the hometown discount as far as still playing out there in Dallas. So Dallas is another one of those middle of the road. See, every team in the West, if you're not like top 8 or one of those super teams that they've created now in the league, it's kind of hard putting you up there. But Dallas, they're gonna be a tough team. But Nerlens Noel, he was looking for a contract all summer, didn't find anything. So you're going to get a lot of inspiration out of him and seeing what he's going to bring to the table. But as far as it's like Dirk, and then who else you have on that squad?
Right.
Dennis Smith Jr. But it's then it's a lot of moving parts. You need
It is. And if you look at the guys that are there, J.J. Barea, Harrison Barnes, these are all names that are familiar. But
Harrison Barnes, yeah, you're right. He actually played well last year. I thought he was going to be overpaid for him, but. He provided that spark, and like he was worth some of that max contract that he got. So Harrison, Dirk, Dennis Smith Jr. But other than that, I don't know what you're gonna have. So
that's the thing when you're looking at these teams. Maybe even like a year ago, I'm gonna say like a year ago, these would be good teams.
Right.
But when you look at the teams now, the super teams that you have,
right.
They just don't.
Everybody has a big 3, so when you look at these teams, it's so what is it? Who's their big 3? And when you have a aging old Dirk and Dennis Smith Jr. and Harrison Barnes, I'm not
that's your big 3.
I'm not gonna sign up for that big 3.
Exactly. No. And then down in New Orleans, we've got the Pelicans. So they still have DeMarcus Cousins, Anthony Davis, Drew Holiday, and they brought in Tony Allen and Charles Cook, who's a local player, and Rajon Rondo.
Yeah, they made the biggest move last year, biggest splash, bringing in DeMarcus Cousins. I might go DeMarcus Cousins outside. He's a beast, but we already know about DeMarcus Cousins and if his head's on tight. So I think this is a make or break year for New Orleans. In a lot of different ways. One way is you have Anthony Davis, who teams are coveting and trying to see if they can trade for him. A lot of Celtics, DeMarcus Cousins. And they're trying to see if this experiment's going to work this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really seeing it, but I mean, Rajon Rondo's probably going to, at least help that cause because he's a pure point guard, somebody who likes to dish the ball. Drew Holiday, who, I mean, really hasn't really been the same since he left Philly. Nice player, but, when he was here at the Sixers, they were talking about him being an all-star.
Right.
And I haven't really seen that growth and progression out of him. Injuries taking a toll on him as well. So New Orleans is going to be, like I said, interesting to watch from that standpoint. If they have these two big guys, arguably the two best big guys in the league, but can they play together?
Exactly.
That's the question.
Yeah, that's some strong personalities there.
Yeah. I mean, in the small sample size we got from them last year, didn't really hold up. I thought they were going to have a chance to sneak in the playoffs last year, but they just went kind of downhill after that whole trade. So.
Very interesting. So all three of those teams in the Southwest, the Grizzlies, the Pelicans, the Mavericks, middle of the boat, or middle of the pack, I should say. We don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to even make the playoffs. Someone's got to be the 8th seed, but there's a lot of talent in the West. And when we get back, we're going to talk about the two big teams in the Southwest, the Rockets and the Spurs. So don't go too far. We'll be right back after this break.
Oh my God, that is gorgeous.
That is spectacular.
Beautiful. Wow, that is gorgeous.
That is gorgeous.
That's got to be from Giorgio's.
That's got to be from Giorgio's.
He only shops at Giorgio's.
Visit us today in the Freehold Raceway Mall.
Why travel to Philadelphia or Atlantic City for memorable and diverse dining? Experience the unique style and ambiance of Napa Valley Wine Country right here in the heart of South Jersey. At Terra Nova Restaurant, it's casual yet sophisticated with contemporary American cuisine. Enjoy South Jersey's best sushi and raw bar, the freshest seafood, thick, delicious steaks, pastas, appetizers, and desserts. Our wine bar offers selections from virtually every major wine-producing region in the world. Choose from over 200 wines, with 50 available by the glass. Join us at Terra Nova for Wine Down Wednesdays with special half-price bottles of wine. Sit, sip, and enjoy. Our bar happy hour features sushi at half price. Every Friday night, it's live music and our pasta and wine Sundays. Spotlight 25 wines at $25. Terra Nova Restaurant has a wonderful Northern California decor with architectural touches exuding elegance and warmth. An excellent choice for private parties. Our rooms can accommodate 20 to 120 people. Choose the Napa Room, Sonoma Room, or the Monterey Room. Terra Nova Restaurant is perfect for friends to meet. And for added fun, enjoy our brand new wine and martini bar. Great food, great wine, great friends. It's Terra Nova Restaurant.
Apple Ridge is about freedom. Apple Ridge is about community. Apple Ridge is about home. Apple Ridge, everything you want, more than you expect. Welcome to your new neighborhood. Apple Ridge Senior Living. Enjoy a maintenance-free, affordable luxury lifestyle today. Visit appleridgeseniorliving.com and find out more about the Apple Ridge experience.
Hey everyone, my name is Adam Chrisman and I'm the host of a new show called The Adam Chrisman Show. Although I've been a veterinarian for almost 15 years now, our show is not just going to be about animals, including pets and wildlife and large animals and zoo animals. It's going to be about lifestyles and pop culture and working out and having a great time and just being a better person. So coming along, check me out this fall on RVN TV.
Welcome back to the Sports Break here on RVNTV.tv. I'm your host, Renee Washington, and joining me to talk about the Southwest Division of the NBA is co-host Jonathan Stroud. So if you missed it before the break, which I don't know why you would miss it, I don't know where you'd be at, but whatever, we'll fill you in. We talked about the Grizzlies, the Pelicans, and the Dallas Mavericks. Their roster changes, new guys that were moved. But we have to get into the final two big teams in the Southwest, starting with the Houston Rockets. Possibly could have gotten Carmelo Anthony, but they did not. But they did get Chris Paul, along with Demetrius Jackson and some other players. And they still have Trevor Ariza, Eric Gordon, and of course, the Beard, James Harden.
The Beard.
So, with Chris Paul and James Harden, now that we've seen some preseason games,
right,
What are you thinking about this Rockets team?
I think it's a blessing in disguise that actually Carmelo's not on the team, because then you have like 3 ball dominant guys on the team that, I don't know if that would have been well together when you already have Chris Paul, CP3, and Harden, 2 ball dominant guys on the team. So everybody's high on the Rockets. I'm not really seeing like third best team in the West so far. I need to kind of see this thing play out a little bit on the court. If it was put a good gun to my head, I would say OKC was going to jump out there and be one of those best teams out there. But the Rockets, I got to see this thing with CP3 and Harden play together and just kind of see how that's going to work on the court. CP3, kind of the personality where, he's one of those guys going to be in your face, and I'm not sure that's going to bode well for James Harden, because he's like one of those dudes who's already kind of done it. So
exactly.
I don't I don't know if I'm sold on it just yet with those guys. I mean, they made a splashy move bringing in CP3. I think Beverly leaving is going to hurt because he had that defensive intensity. CP3 has been known for his defense as well, but he's older in the tooth now. Trevor Ariza, I really don't know what you're going to get from him from year to year. So,
game
to game. You're right. So I mean, it's going to be those other guys on this team, and it's kind of how it all works together. Ryan Anderson, you're going to depend on him for your 3-point shooting on the outside. And then you still have Nene, who's like 45 years old now. So I don't know what you're going to expect from him on the inside. He frustrates me every time I watch him. So
this is a weird group is the best way I can describe it. They have, again, we've talked about big name players and having talent and what it takes to compete with those top teams in the league. And if you look at it with having Chris Paul added to that team, everyone is assuming they're going to be the top team, top 2, one of the top 2 in the West.
Right.
With the Spurs, OKC, and the Warriors. So I don't know how they fit in that top 2. Because again, with Chris Paul and James Harden, you have 2 guys that need to have the ball in their hands. Defensively, I don't care what people say. I don't like the way James Harden plays defense. He just reminds me of the old guy at the park that doesn't get back on defense, stands at midcourt, you pass him the ball, and he just shoots. From anywhere. Or goes to the basket.
Olay defense. That's
exactly. Like, I'm saving all my energy for this half of the court, which is okay. I mean, there are some players like that. But when you have the Rockets team as a whole, he needs to defend. It doesn't work well with their team.
Right. And I mean, D'Antoni let him loose last year, and credits to him, because I mean, I'm not the biggest Mike D'Antoni fan, but his system worked for James Harden last year, the way he kind of let him loose and do his thing. But I'm under the impression that was like a flash in the pan type year for them. James Harden had to do so much. He had like the year of his life in the league last year. I'm not sure if he can repeat that. And then adding Chris Paul, I don't know if that's just going to really propel you to be a top team or a contender for that matter. I mean, I see them maybe as the 4th slot in the West this year.
The thing is, with Chris Paul, we always see him as the guy that assists. State Farm, he's all over helping people. Yet, if you hear any of his teammates' comments, I don't get that vibe about him. That he's that great teammate. Nah. And I always thought he was a great player. I still do. I enjoy watching him. He seems like he's a true point guard that's like team first guy. But I've heard some mixed comments and feedback from his players that have played around him about the type of teammate that he is. Right. So maybe this is the year we fully see that. I mean, with him and the Clippers, we saw him with Doc. We saw him with Blake Griffin and different guys, DeAndre Jordan, that he was butting heads with. Right. Openly saying he didn't like things like they didn't bring Carmelo in because Doc kept his son Austin Rivers. All these different things that we're kind of hearing about that maybe aren't getting as over-told as they should be. They're kind of hidden and swept under the rug. But I'm thinking with James Harden, who's a very strong personality, and the Rockets, it might come to blows. I don't know.
Well, listen, I mean, Kevin McHale already came out and said James Harden's not a leader. So we know that's really not in his DNA to do that. Chris Paul is one of those more outgoing type of personalities where he's kind of going to get in your face, get down your grill. I don't know how that's going to work with James Harden. And as far as like when you get in his face, he's like, well, listen, I'm the beard. I'm the MVP. How you going to talk to me like that? Exactly. So I don't really know how that's all going to go. And that's why I said I got to see this team play. I know it's kind of like, taking the easy way out. But I got to see this team play out, man. I need to see what's going to go down on the court first.
I agree. And there's another team, the final team of Southwest, who always gets overlooked by everyone across the NBA. That's the San Antonio Spurs.
The big
so Pop's got Rudy Gay, Darren Hillard, They also still have LaMarcus Aldridge. They just signed to an contract extension. Kyle Anderson, Pau Gasol, Manu, Danny Green, Kawhi, Tony Parker, Patty Mills. Same old Spurs.
Same old squad. So these is like the New England Patriots of the NBA.
Are.
You know what I mean? It's like you can always count on this team to be in it. They quietly get 55-plus wins every year. I mean, it's the Popovich effect. I mean, I think this is going to be the third best team in the West, or I'm not going to say league, but in the West this year.
Okay.
They just, every year, you know what you're going to get from them. Kawhi Leonard is a beast. Probably arguably the best two-way player in the league. So I know you don't want to hear that from being the biggest Brown fan, but I'm just saying that you know, they had Kawhi not gotten hurt in that daggone Western Conference Finals last year, we might be talking about something different. So,
and that's what sticks with me the most. So I'm a huge Kawhi Leonard fan because I don't think he gets enough appreciation and enough attention because he isn't that big personality that most top players are. You don't see him all over commercials and endorsements. You don't see him, you know, holding Sprites and with State Farm and with cars and whatever else. But he just comes every day and does what he's supposed to do.
He brings it.
He quietly brings it every single game, which I respect. And when he went down last year in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, it was like the sinking of the Titanic. It was over.
Yeah, they were up by like 22 points.
To see how fast that game changed and then the rest of the series went, the Spurs were lost without him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a straw that stirs the drink, obviously, for the Spurs. And, I mean, he's that good. So, I mean, LaMarcus Aldridge is a disappointment. I don't even know why they signed him to that extension. He's not one of those players that when the lights are on and you can count on a bucket, he's somebody that you can get the ball to. His personality doesn't exude somebody who really wants it. I mean, nice player, and he has skill, nice offensive skills, but I just don't see him being that clutch performer. You know what I mean? So, I mean, listen, the Spurs, like I said, they're always going to be there. They have the parts as far as Patty Mills, Tony Parker, who, you know, he's another year older. He had that bad injury last year, but you know, I still see them being there in the end.
I agree. After this break, we will continue talking about the Spurs because I have some points to make on LaMarcus Aldridge. Don't go too far. We'll be right back to continue talking about the Spurs and the Southwest.
Oh my God, that is gorgeous.
That is spectacular.
Beautiful. Wow, that is gorgeous.
That is gorgeous.
That's got to be from Giorgio's.
That's got to be from Giorgio's.
He only shops at Giorgio's.
Visit us today in the Freehold Raceway Mall.
Why travel to Philadelphia or Atlantic City for memorable and diverse dining? Experience the unique style and ambiance of Napa Valley wine country right here in the heart of South Jersey. At Terra Nova Restaurant, it's casual yet sophisticated with contemporary American cuisine. Enjoy South Jersey's best sushi and raw bar, the freshest seafood, thick, delicious steaks, pastas, appetizers, and desserts. Our wine bar offers selections from virtually every major wine-producing region in the world. Choose from over 200 wines, with 50 available by the glass. Join us at Terra Nova for Wine Down Wednesdays with special half-price bottles of wine. Sit, sip, and enjoy. Our bar happy hour features sushi at half price. Every Friday night, it's live music and our pasta and wine Sundays. Spotlight 25 wines at $25. Terra Nova Restaurant has a wonderful Northern California decor with architectural touches exuding elegance and warmth. An excellent choice for private parties. Our rooms can accommodate 20 to 120 people. Choose the Napa Room, Sonoma Room, or the Monterey Room. Terra Nova Restaurant is perfect for friends to meet. And for added fun, enjoy our brand new wine and martini bar. Great food, great wine, great friends. It's Terra Nova Restaurant.
Apple Ridge is about freedom. Apple Ridge is about community. Apple Ridge is about home. Apple Ridge, everything you want, more than you expect. Welcome to your new neighborhood. Apple Ridge Senior Living. Enjoy a maintenance-free, affordable luxury lifestyle today. Visit appleridgeseniorliving.com and find out more about the Apple Ridge experience.
Hey everyone, my name is Adam Chrisman and I'm the host of a new show called The Adam Chrisman Show. Although I've been a veterinarian for almost 15 years now, our show is not just going to be about animals, including pets and wildlife and large animals and zoo animals. It's going to be about lifestyles and pop culture and working out and having a great time and just being a better person. So coming along, check me out this fall on RBN TV.
And we're back. Welcome back to Sports Break here on RBNTV.tv. I'm Renee Washington, joined by Jonathan Stroud. And we got into each of the teams in the Southwest Division of the NBA. And the final team we talked about, the San Antonio Spurs, I have to go on to mention more about LaMarcus Aldridge.
You love him, don't you?
I want to like reach through the screen and like slap him. I won't say
Tell us
him,
how
like,
you really
kinda.
feel, Renee. Tell us how you really feel about it.
LaMarcus Aldridge and Dwight Howard drive me insane because they have all the height in the world. They step on the court, they should be dominating. They should be like controlling games.
It's separated at birth.
They don't go to the basket. LaMarcus Aldridge specifically, when we watched Kawhi Leonard go down in the Western Conference Final last year, all he had to do was play. That's it. They already had the lead. He just had to play and maintain the lead. Yeah. The fact that he was shooting fadeaway jumpers, to not even facing the basket, trying to spin and shoot, wouldn't go to the basket, had guys on him. He was the tallest guy in the court. Yeah, Draymond Green couldn't match up with him.
Let's not forget they had the advantage of going inside.
So all he had to do, stay in the low post up, get the ball, go to the basket. Done. Refused to go to the basket. Yeah. And they signed him to a contract extension. I was hoping that they would get rid of him.
Yeah, I don't think they probably found a willing trade partner. That's probably why they were just like felt like they were backed into a corner and let's sign him. But I'm with you. I wouldn't have signed. I don't know what his heart ticks, but I don't know. It's probably Kool-Aid. I don't think he's out there. He wants it as much as the other players. So it's. Yes. I'm not a big LaMarcus Aldridge fan either. I could see that he's frustrating to you as well.
Oh yeah, he just became kind of like how a lion's scared of a mouse. Like to me, that's what I saw. Like
wow.
Like you're like, wow, this big ferocious guy, this is perfect. They still have him. Tony Parker was injured. They still had Manu. Kawhi got injured. All right, time for LaMarcus Aldridge to just play. He didn't have to step up, just play.
Right.
And then with all these smaller Warriors players around him, refused to go to the basket. That's basketball 101. You're the tallest guy in the court. Post somebody up, make a big man move, go to the basket.
Yeah, some guys just don't have it in them. Some guys just don't want it like that. So, I mean, he just seems like one of them. But hopefully Kawhi can carry them boys because you can't really count on LaMarcus to do the damage that you want.
Yeah, so I'll get off my soapbox about LaMarcus.
You gotta calm her down over there.
Moving on into the other teams of the Southwest. Now that we've looked at all the teams across the board.
Right.
Top team, in your opinion?
Hey,
Spurs, Rockets.
It's going to be the Spurs. As long as Kawhi has his cornrows in this year, I think that he's going to be a strong player again and lead the Spurs to the top of the division. I don't really see any changes there. I mean, like I said, Houston, everybody's on that bandwagon, but I just don't think CP3 is going to make that big an impact to where, and I think it's going to take a while for them to get that thing together and get rolling in Houston. So in the end, I think they're going to be a strong team, but when all said and done, the Spurs are going to be on top of this division.
Oh yeah. I just hope that all the teams in the Southwest, specifically the Rockets and the Spurs, are healthy all season to give the Warriors a run for their money. Because I think if Kawhi Leonard, especially with the Spurs, stays healthy, I don't know if these teams are good enough to beat them in the playoffs, but I want them to at least take them to 6 or 7 games, whoever they end up playing.
The Spurs.
I don't want the Warriors to be able to just run through.
Yeah, the Spurs are missing another backcourt because I think Tony Parker, as good as he is, they need another up and coming guard. Patty Mills is what he is. He's a bench player, but they need like a starter guard in there that kind of just be a Robin to Kawhi's Batman. So they don't really have that element yet. So that's kind of what they're missing. But I mean, they got Popovich and Kawhi. That's going to be enough, I think, to carry them to the division.
Yeah, I think we saw that with Patty Mills last year once Tony Parker went down, and he was now starting and playing more minutes. They do have some a rookie, I forget his name off the top of my head. That's pretty good too. That is a good point guard. But Kawhi Leonard to me just epitomizes like the true player. When every kid shows up to the gym in their flashy sneakers and gear, he's the one that shows up with the ragged cornrows and ragged sneakers. And everyone's like, who's this corny boy? And then he steps on the court and is like killing everyone.
The claw.
He's so, with those huge hands, he's so underrated and overlooked because he isn't flashy. But I think if he stays healthy, that's the key to the Southwest Division, having someone that can make some type of noise with the Warriors. Yeah,
I think that they give the Warriors fits, and like we saw it evident in Game 1 last year. But You know, homeboy who stepped on Kawhi's ankle out there just wanted to ruin it all for him. That was a dirty play. But, I think the Spurs are...
He whose name should not be mentioned.
Yeah, I think the Spurs are in line for another run to the division, and probably going to get the Warriors a run for their money when it comes to the Western Conference playoffs.
All right. Well, last question then. When talking about rookies, we have like a Dennis Smith Jr. You have teams that are trying to get their rookies to come in, ready to play, do what they have to do to be good. Is he the rookie that we're going to see out of the Southwest? That's going to be the biggest name?
Yeah, I mean, I think that all these guys, I mean, when he's playing in Summer League, and it is Summer League, but people were like saying that this dude probably should have been a top 3 pick. I mean, I was kind of getting antsy because we've seen what Foles has done in preseason, and, you know, Dennis Smith Jr. has just been kind of electric in the way he's been playing up and down the court. I think the reason he slipped a little bit was because of that injury in North Carolina State. They also had some issues with the coach over there. So I think that he's going to be a pretty exciting player. You know, when it's all said and done, Dallas got a good one in Dennis Smith Jr.
And getting to play with a player like Dirk, you know, and some good veterans that we talked about earlier in the show and in previous shows. When you can have some veterans around you, so you don't have to step in and try to figure yourself out and try to lead and try to get adjusted to the quickness and the physicality of the NBA, it makes it easier for that transition to happen. And
most of these teams in this division are usually in the playoffs. That's why he's I think the only one that was a lottery pick out of these teams. So we're going to see some late first rounders and what they can do on the other squads and how they can step up. But Dennis Smith Jr. is going to be a guy to watch this upcoming season. I think he's going to be must-see TV.
You heard it here. Well, I am definitely looking forward to the NBA. Being back
can't
on.
wait.
So excited for games. So excited for all the sports talk and everything, all the tabloids and news all around the NBA.
You got your LeBron jersey?
I actually don't have a LeBron jersey.
You should.
Isn't that
you should have a Sixers jersey. I mean, we're not going to talk about that right now. It's very upsetting.
No. I'm trying to get to a Sixers game and a Cavs game now, so there you go.
So you can cheer for LeBron.
So I can cheer for LeBron, absolutely. All right, well, thank you for tuning in to the Sports Break this morning. As always, you can find us every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. You know where it is. rbntv.tv at 9 a.m. Watch us live. I'm Renee Washington with co-host Jonathan Stroud. I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Tuesday.